LTA Nation, welcome to another episode of LTA. Let's talk about it. The podcast where we explore the intricacies of relationships and help you navigate the journey of love. I'm your host, indeed, and we'll be diving into a topic, another one. This is something quite dear to me. It's another topic, and this one actually affects many couples, which is letting other people into your relationship, whether you're being unfaithful, or you're just oversharing, talking to other people about your relationship, which you should never ever do. So why should you keep your relationship between you and your partner? This includes everybody, family, even your mother, your father, it doesn't matter. Your relationship should be between you and your partner. So grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy. Now, for everyone that's been following us from the beginning, you know that I am indeed a Stoic, and I like to share some quotes from famous Stoics, famous people that are no longer around us, people that actually made a difference. And it's very important to listen to those who are no longer here, or at least read their words. It's always a level of knowledge that we can acquire. Now, keeping your relationship between you and your partner, very, 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 very important. Before we dive into it, I want to thank everyone that's been supporting the channel, supporting the podcast, listening to the podcast. Let it rip. Let it run while you drive, on your way to work, on your way from work, sit at the park, sitting at Starbucks, having a coffee, whatnot. And if you have problems in your relationship, if you just left a relationship, definitely send us an email. Tell us what happened. Tell us how it was. What was your journey like? How you feeling now? We want to know, and we want to share that. Guys, if I wouldn't mention names, but if you want me to mention, we'll obviously give, we will oblige. But we just use the examples in the letters and the emails. Just, networking purposes. Make sure everybody knows that they're not alone. People that are in relationships, people that want to stay in a relationship, people that's going through problems in a relationship. That's what we're here for. Okay. Consider supporting your Patreon, our Patreon, or supporting us via our Patreon. The government does not care about the family unit. We do. There's not many people that care about the family unit at the moment, and we do. And that's where we want to be. We want to be your shoulder. We want to be, a reliable source, not just of information, but networking. Trust me, what you're going through, you're not the only person. You're not alone. And it's okay to be down. It's not okay to stay down. And that's why we're here. And we believe in the family unit. We don't want people breaking up unless there's obviously physical violence in the house and there's no longer feelings. These are the only two instances. However, if you have kids, it's a little bit different, isn't it? It's a little bit different. But we're here. We're here for you, okay? So, why should you not talk to other people about your relationship? And why should you not let other people in your relationship? Okay? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Okay. I'm going to tell you, whoever's listening, I'm going to tell you things that you don't want to hear. I'm going to call you out on your BS. I'm going to call you out on your behavior. Here at LTA, we also believe in personal growth, and that's very, very important. if you're not willing to say, or you're not willing to look at yourself whenever this situation, and where you say, okay, so what did I do to contribute to that situation? We already know that you don't like the other person. You have plenty of bad things to say about your partner. But what did you do to contribute to that situation? And accountability. Do you know what I mean? Responsibility. What is it that you've done? Guys, the same energy that you spent with a new relationship, because you will gonna have some BS on that relationship also. I'm telling you right now. Okay? The same energy that you will use to have some bad behavior is that same energy that you need to use to make the relationship better. So how can we do that? One of the aspects of a relationship, if it's a monogamous relationship, you need to understand that a monogamous relationship doesn't mean you don't cheat, I don't cheat. A monogamous relationship means that it's only two people, a couple, in that relationship. Not your mother, not your aunt, not your cousin, not your neighbor, not your father, your brother. It's you and your partner. If you don't understand that, you're gonna have problems in a relationship. Anything that happens, you go to your friends and you talk to your friends about what's going on in your relationship, you're gonna have problems in a relationship. You guys need to understand something very, very simple. You are both each other's representative to your family. You represent, the woman represent her man to her family. The man represents her woman to his family. Sorry, his woman to his family. Okay? The moment that you cast any type of doubt or any type of negative behavior or anything at all to your family, especially families that are overbearing, and I'll get into that. In fact, I made a whole episode about overbearing parents. Then that relationship is set for disaster. Just because somebody is a family member, it doesn't mean that person cannot be jealous of you. That person cannot, long or desire what you have. And when you go and you talk about your partner to your friend, to your family, to the neighbor, to strangers, and you talk bad things about your partner, it makes you also look bad. It's not just your partner, you also look bad. Because now, if they had any type of contentions towards you, if they had any type of negative thoughts, they're thinking, she's not mature enough or he's not mature enough. Now you're definitely showing that you're not mature enough because look, he can't even choose a partner. Right? Not only that, misery loves company. When somebody's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, or somebody's very well off, and somebody goes on holidays, and somebody's driving a nice car, you don't see that person calling somebody else to come and join me. But if somebody is bad, somebody's going through things, they reach out immediately. Misery loves company. You should not, under any circumstances, with the exception of physical violence, when there's physical violence in the house, then that's different. You need to reach out, right? Apart from physical violence, you should not, under any circumstances, ever talk bad things about your partner to your family. Point blank, period. Family, cousins, brothers, sisters, whatever. Best friends, neighbors, co-workers, venting. Women overshare all the time. That's the problem. You guys need to stop oversharing. And not only that, some women think that the person that they're talking to, because they make it look like, her relationship is perfect. Some women actually think that that person's relationship is actually perfect. This is ludicrous. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. A perfect relationship has toxicity, is full of problems, but the people in the relationship stick together. That's a perfect relationship. Perfect relationship is time in. A perfect relationship is when you're 60 and you're sitting on a porch and you've been through so many things, right? But you still stick together. And when, whoever buries whoever first is going to cry their asses off, right? And you have history, you have kids, you have grandkids, you've been through so much, but that's the person that's a perfect relationship, right? So when all these people posting things, they're fake. I can post nice things every day, just go out, get some sun, and then turn around and take and smile, and there you go, oh my God, amazing. It's not, it's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit, okay? Stop talking about your relationship to other people. Now, you can have conversations, right? Women won't shut up. That's fine. Always talking. That's fine. You can have conversations. You can even mention aspects of your relationship in a vague way. You don't need to say that it's your relationship. You can give examples from other things, and you say, all right, but maybe some people go through this, or I know some people that are going through this right now. But you don't need to mention your relationship. You don't need to mention your partner. You don't need to be obvious, right? If you want somebody's opinion, you can ask a question that is not specifically turned to your partner. It can be a vague question with a specific nature. Let's say it like that, right? Now, people might be asking, okay, right, I can see where you're coming from, but would you elaborate? No problem, I will elaborate. The main reason why you should not overshare and you should not talk about your relationship to other people, the number one, jealousy. You might not see it, but the person that you're talking to, including your parents, including very close family members, your brother, your mother, your sister, your cousin, these people might be jealous of you. They might be jealous of your youth. They might be jealous of your beauty. They might be jealous of what you have because they failed to have what you have. Maybe they tried even to have a relationship with somebody that they loved, but they made bad decisions along the way, and now they regret it. And now they're looking at you, right? And they're jealous. They will never articulate this. Jealousy is something that you feel, not always that you act on it. The second reason why you should not open your mouth to talk about your partner ever is the fact that you know your partner. You are in a relationship with your partner, nobody else. Things can be so misconstrued, and things can be so understandings can happen where you talking from a unique place that you know, that you feel, how you feel, and the person is taking it from a completely different angle. The person is not the one in a relationship, you are. Why are you talking about it? The third reason why you should not talk about your relationship to anyone, it's a matter of trust. You are betraying somebody's trust and talking about them behind their backs. Outrageous. You should never, ever do that. Nobody should ever talk to any family member, any best friend, anything about their relationship in a specific way, especially if it's bad things, okay? Complaining about their partner, especially if it's bad things. And I'm gonna say it again, the only exception is when there's physical violence. If there's physical violence, you gotta reach out to the right channel and obviously try to get that sorted. Okay? And I take this further. If you're a parent and your kid, your son, let's say that your son is in a relationship with somebody, They've been together for a couple of years, and your son comes to you talking about breaking up, and they have 1 or 2 kids together, and you're a parent, and you're encouraging your son to break up, I'm going to tell you straight up in your face, straight up, you are a horrible parent. No parent should ever encourage their kids to break up, especially if there's kids involved. Often parents that do this is parents that done the same. The divorcees, the runaways. So they will encourage their kids to have that bad behavior. Nobody should break up unless there's no more feelings, genuine feelings. There's no kids involved, and there's physical violence. These are the only exceptions where you don't waste your time, right? If you're in the very beginning and things are not going well, yes, break up. Obviously, hello, but if you're 2-3 years in and you have a couple of kids together, right? There's history already. Why are you breaking up for? Why? What is it that? Because you went to talk to your family, you went to talk to your friends, you went to tell them about your relationship, and you shouldn't have. Now, you betrayed somebody's trust, right? Of course, your family, especially if they're jealous, especially if they have contentions towards your partner that you have created because you told them things that you shouldn't have said. And remember, that's your perspective. It's not even the truth. It's your perspective. You complaining about something, people complain about things all the time. That doesn't mean that you are right to complain, or that's something that you rightfully complain about. You have the right to complain, but whether you're right about that complaint or not, it's just completely different. And of course, they're going to tell you, yeah, sure, you should break up. I'm telling you straight up, if you're a parent, you have a father, you have a son or a daughter, and you encourage them to break up in a relationship there's no physical violence and there's kids involved, you are reckless, that is irresponsible, and you are a very bad parent, and you need to consider that. You should never, ever, ever break up, especially if there's kids involved, there's some feelings involved. To be honest, kids come above feelings, okay? If the kids involved, there's no physical violence, you should always try to work it out. There's so many tools out there. I wish there were more. I wish the government would make that, would be able to make that more obvious, clearer, more reachable, more accessible to families, because obviously the government is not making money. They don't really care about you. The government want you to break up. The government want you to get a divorce because they want to take their slice of the cake. The government doesn't care about the family unit. But here at LTA, we do. And we're going to tell you exactly what you need to hear to get you thinking. Okay? Communication is key. Don't communicate to other people, communicate to your goddamn partner. Okay? Your mom is not in a relationship, your partner is. Your aunt is not in a relationship. Your friend is not in a relationship. The neighbor is not in a relationship, your partner is. It's okay to say I'm sorry. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to recognize that you're wrong. It's okay to regret our actions, but we have to articulate that to our partners in an honest way, in a humble way, not in an arrogant way, not in an entitlement way. And you'll see, once you open that door of communication, that bridge, where you build that bridge of trust, bridge of communication with your partner, where you know that you're loyal. And one of my previous episodes, I spoke about loyalty, guys. And I explained the difference between being loyal and being faithful. I'd rather have a woman that is loyal. I don't really care about faithfulness. Faithfulness could be just, what the Italians call fughese down in New York. Okay? Somebody that is faithful might backstab you. They might not sleep with somebody else, but they might snitch on your ass. Yeah, backstab you, talk bad things about you to everybody. But somebody that is loyal will never betray you. And when you talk about your partner, when you open that relationship, that door to other people, to pry, to talk, to judge you, to judge your partner, you are betraying that loyalty. This is very simple, guys. We see us men, we don't really talk about our partners like that. This is a two-guy conversation. What's up with you, man? You look down. Oh man, I had an argument with my girlfriend, man. She's always getting on my nerves. Man, stop bitching about, man. Let's just play this game. Let's get a drink and stop complaining like a little bitch. This is a man conversation about their woman. This is it. A woman conversation, she breaks down so many things. Oh yeah, and he's got this problem and that problem. He doesn't even do this, and he's mom. And then why? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? What are you doing? What in the world are you doing? Loyalty is better than faithfulness. Loyalty is better every single day. Beware of people that can't wait to hear about your relationship. They can't wait to hear about what you got to say about your partner because they are miserable in their relationship. They want to compare with your relationship so they don't feel that bad. It's like, oh, I'm going through some things, but this bitch right here, oh, she's going through worse. Oh man, I'm so glad my relationship is way better than that. You should never do that. You should never compare. And you should never let other people in your relationship. You and your partner need to have a two-hand circle. You both need to hold your hands, both your hands, and promise to each other, no matter what happened, nobody gets in that circle. Nobody, under any circumstances, you get anyone in that circle. Anything that you tell me, couples do that. Couples talk about other couples. Couples talk about other things. Couples talk about families. It's okay for couples to share to a certain extent because man is never going to overshare, or most men won't overshare. But what's not okay is for whatever is spoken in that circle to get out of that circle. That circle should be tighter than a therapist and his patient. That circle should be tighter than a lawyer and his client. Point blank, period. You should never, ever, 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 ever talk about your relationship to anyone. Point blank, period. Unless it's physical violence, of course. And I have to mention that every time. Now, when you have kids, it's even worse. Because if you let your family talk bad about your partner, that's the mother or the father of your child. Why would you do that? And if you let your personal emotions get in the midst of that parent being a parent, you're also a very bad parent. You're a horrible parent, actually. Because your love for your child should be greater than your love for yourself, than your ego, than your pride, than your selfishness, right? You should be able to respect your child, respect your partner through your child, respect your child through your partner, right? You should never, ever, ever, even if that's true, it could be true. The person is bad. It doesn't matter. It's between you and that person. Now, guys, I'm not saying you can't get an opinion on something. You can get an opinion on something. Absolutely. You can be vague. You can have normal conversation about many subjects. And one of the subjects could be a relationship. Listen, what do you think about this, and that? Oh man, I think this is why. Because, I think that a few people might be going through that. And, many times I think about these things and, you don't even need to go into that. But whenever there's a nice subject to talk about, everybody will give their 2 cents. Everybody. You don't need to say names. You don't need to say that's you. You don't need to say that that's your partner. And you don't need to be specific. You can be vague and still get an opinion. You still get a view of things. No, exceptions don't make rules. There's people that will talk, like for example, twins. Twins tend to talk about everything. I actually have twins in my family, a bunch of them from both sides of my family. And we have conversations. They're my cousins. I have actually two aunts and 4 cousins. But we have conversations, or we used to have conversations about it. And they tend to share everything apart from relationships. Shit, if twins are able to not share things about their relationship, you should be able to not share things about your relationship. Oversharing is one of the biggest problems in a relationship, alongside with communication. So you don't talk to your partner, but you're okay to talk to other people about your partner. That's crazy. Guys, hello. It's crazy. Now, to me, the worst ones when it comes to this oversharing and, creating problems is people that share with their parents. Like, for example, women are usually very close to their moms, right? Fair enough. A man will give an advice such as, have you talked to your partner? Did you tell her how you feel? Like, if I'm talking to my son, right? My son is thinking about breaking up, right? I'm going to tell him why you want to break up for. If he tells me things like, it's not the same, I don't have the same feelings for her and stuff like that, I'm going to say, okay, stop. Did you talk to her about it? Nah, I just wanted to see your opinion. Okay, I can give you my opinion. My opinion is that you need to talk to her. You have a relationship with her. If it's feelings, you can talk to her. If it's something else, you can ask me. I will give you my opinion. But no matter what happens, you need to talk to her. Talking to other people about it is not going to help. I'm not in a relationship. You are. She is. If the feelings change, don't drag it. Talk to her. However, this changes slightly if my son has kids. If my son has a couple of kids and he's been together with this girl 3, 4, 5 years, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that they will stick together. As long as there's still feelings and there's no physical violence and there's kids involved, I will make sure that my son understands that there's nothing else out there, right? And no matter what you're going to go through, whether it's good or bad, you can go through in a relationship. If you can do it, make it alone, you can make it, in a relationship, I'm telling you. Provided that, some conditions are met, right? And that's why you need to communicate with your partner. Now, there's parents out there, especially female parents, with their daughters, right? Especially if they were about that life, right, of breaking up and leaving relationships and whatnot. That's exactly what they're gonna tell their daughters to do. I've been in situations where somebody spoke to me and I could hear by their conversation that they were encouraging a breakup. Why would you encourage your daughter to break up? Your daughter has kids. Why would you encourage your daughter to break up? No, but it's not really. No, don't break up. Make it work. You got a kid. Make it work for your kid. For some reason, society told women that you don't need a father in the house. Told women that it's okay to be in 2 different houses. I do me, you do you. So who does the kid? I do me, you do you. Who's gonna parent the kid? What about the special moments sitting on the couch, all 3 of you or all 4 of you, depending on how many kids you've got, with a big ass bowl of popcorns, watching a nice movie? These are special memories, man. These are things that, no matter who you're gonna be with, I can be with a girl, my partner can be with a guy, right? And with another guy, but that's not the kid's father. And that's not the kid's mother. It's never going to be the same. And do you love your kids? Is it not worth it to make sure that you sacrifice? Listen, if there's anything worth sacrificing in this life, is your child. If you don't understand that, I'm going to tell you now, nobody told you. I'm going to tell you now, you are a horrible parent. I'll do anything for him, but definitely not stick together. You're a horrible parent. And you need to understand that. You need to understand that. This needs to, somebody needs to tell you, because obviously people are not telling you the truth. They tell you what you want to hear. You have a kid. You have history with the partner. There's still feelings involved. There was no physical violence. You stick around. There's nothing out there. There is nothing. There isn't anything out there that you can't do in a family. Anything. I'm telling you. And if you're a parent and you encourage your kids to break up, to move to a new one, to another one, right? If you have a son, right? and is 26, 27, whatever. He's old enough to be in a long-term relationship because he's been having a long-term relationship for 2 or 3 years. And he's got a couple of kids together. And he's considering breaking up. You need to tell him to stop. You need to pluck him upside his head because obviously he's not thinking straight. Right? Again, as long as there's no physical violence, right? As long as there's feelings involved, you have, especially if there's kids involved, you have to stick together. Here at LTA, we believe in a family unit. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a stoic, and you know that I always provide quotes. One of my favorite quotes from Rufus, okay, and I quote, "Thus, whoever destroys human marriage destroys the home, the city, the whole human race." And he couldn't have been more spot on. The future is the family unit. That's why this channel exists. So many shenanigans about this, about that, and everybody wants to be single, and everybody wants to go out there and buy, hoeing around and doing all this stuff. What about the kids, man? What about the kids? Who's gonna stand for the kids? All we've got in society is single mothers raising single mothers. That's it. That's all we got. And a lot of people blame the men. I've been in situations where I've been stopped from seeing my kid. So it's not the men. It's not the men. A lot of times women have toxic behavior. One of the most common toxic behavior women have is being promiscuous. The second one is preventing the dads from seeing the kids. And this is very, very sad. And it shows their true colors at the end. We stand for the family unit. Guys, stop bringing people into your relationship. Stop. Relationship, monogamous one, is between a man and a woman. There's many types of relationship, but the traditional relationship between a man and a woman with a child, you keep that tight. Thank you for listening. It has been emotional as always. And make sure to subscribe, comment, like, follow us on social media. Definitely listen to our podcast. We have more things coming. Of course, we have more things coming, obviously. It's not just about relationships, but mostly about personal growth, because the personal growth will reflect how the relationship will go. And consider helping us on Patreon. The government doesn't care about the family unit. We do. That's all I gotta say. So let's make this a huge deal. Let's bring people together. Let's network. Let's connect. Let's share. Let's make sure that we all know and we all understand that the family unit is what matters, and the kids is what matters the most in the family unit. It has been emotional as always. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.